Alive, Locked On Lions squad show starts right now. Welcome one, welcome all. Jake Riepma, Natalie Kerwin, Bradford Banta for a special Mardi Gras edition of the Locked On Lions squad show. Nat, we don't know what's coming.
Yeah, I'm just staring at the beads. I have nothing to say. I really appreciate the effort you put into this look today.
Hey, laissez bon rouler à Mardi Gras à Detroit.
One pride. It's the Lions Squad. Everything Detroit Lions every week. Breaking down all the big hits and game-changing plays from the Motor City. The way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. From the roar of the Lions to the next great chapter, the Lions Squad Show starts now.
Oh boy, yes, it does start right now. Jake Riepma, Natalie Kerwin, Bradford Banta, Mardi Gras, speaking French, representing.
Let's
and
go.
He knows French? You
clearly,
know French?
Did you
I
listen
grew
to
up
the
in
intro?
Southern Louisiana. Come on now. You got to pick up on some stuff. I mean, it's French Creole. It's French Creole. So it's not true French. So
Oui,
it's a
oui.
little,
That's all
I
we
already thought you were cool, but now you're up here.
What a show we've got lined up today on the live Locked On Lions squad show. A little off-season roadmap. We're starting a new Locked On Lions squad show series, a deep dive on every position the Lions can address in free agency, what we'd love to see there. And we start that today. And oh, yeah, a little coaching roundtable news and updates and what's going on with Alex Anzalone. So all that and more. But as we always remind you, make sure you like today's video, subscribe, and hopefully, fingers crossed, today's show will be available on the audio only platform and wherever you get your podcast if you so choose. But your comments always welcome right here on the Locked On Lions squad show. And Bradford, I kick it to you first because it's February. You got the beads on. We're ready to go. It's Mardi Gras. Me and Nat are just ready to learn all about Mardi Gras.
Bro, how can you not know about Mardi Gras growing up in the Detroit area with the punchkis and all that kind of stuff? Come on now.
But now just don't celebrate it here like they do.
I know you don't. Tell me about it. Yeah,
I was gonna say
it's statewide, and unfortunately, our cousins across north of the border. Throwing a little French out there, but the further south you get, unfortunately, one of my family was one of the last ones to get off the boat as they were coming down the Mississippi, and they celebrate it hard down in southern Louisiana. You not only have New Orleans, but you also have all across the southern Louisiana. It's pretty much celebrated, and even Mobile, Alabama, which is supposed to be the first place that they said, that they come across and say, we're the first place that celebrated it. But in Louisiana, they just do it better. So, but no, it's Fat Tuesday. It's tomorrow's the beginning of Lent with Ash Wednesday. So 40 days until Easter Sunday. So, and that's, why not have a good time while you can, whenever you have to give something up for Lent.
I love that. Fat Tuesday. How about that? Nat, how are you celebrating Fat Tuesday?
I don't have any punchkis. I'm so lame. I have nothing to celebrate with. I could use a beignet right now, Bradford, from Cafe Du Monde. That sounds delicious.
Doesn't it? Yeah, no. I tell you, I did not know about basically the Detroit tradition of the punchkis. Because down there we have king cake, and what's
that?
So king cake is essentially it's a sweet bread that you can put stuffings in it, like a sweet cream or jelly or something like that. And what
Sounds
they
unreal.
do, it's awesome. You heat it up, man. Whoo, it's some good stuff. But what they do is they put a baby in the king cake. And so the tradition is whoever is eating the king cake and they get the baby, they have to throw the next party for everybody. So that's the tradition.
Okay, so I'm picturing like a baby
It's a little plastic baby. It's a little plastic. No, it's not a baby. Come on.
At first, my head went there, and then I had to.
No,
I'm like, no, I've heard the tradition before, though. I have heard that. I just didn't realize it was with that dessert.
Yeah, no, you talk to anybody from Louisiana or even whoever celebrates Mardi Gras down in the South, they're gonna know about king cake, and they're gonna know about the tradition with the baby and everything that it entails. Now, in our legalities of current times, it's so freaking crazy because like they stopped putting the baby in the king cake because now it's a choking hazard.
Oh my God.
Come on now, people. Let's go.
Have you gotten the baby? Have you?
We've all, I mean, if you ever eaten king cake, you have gotten the baby. So
Jake, I think we need to do this.
Yeah,
I think so.
The next party.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I would be leaning on Brad heavily for all of the advice on how to throw an excellent New Orleans themed Mardi Gras party. But I have had the cake before. It's delicious.
But I tell you, but one of the best parts of Mardi Gras, and I was able to do this whenever I was coaching down in New Orleans with the Saints, was my cousin was a member of a crew, and it's Krewe. That's how they pronounce it, the French spelling of it. And basically, it's essentially a social club, and his crew was Bacchus, and which is a huge crew down in New Orleans. And I was able to ride in the parade, I think in spring of 18, spring of 17 or 18, one of the two. And you talk about a blast. So it was so much fun. We rode. So picture this. It's an alligator. So, and it's either 3 or 4 floats connected together to form an alligator. And we're riding at the head of the alligator. So you sit there and you're throwing beads, you're throwing stuffed animals, you're throwing everything into the crowd. But the problem is the alligator has his mouth open. So we're like, I don't know where we are in the Bacchus order of floats in the parade, but let's just say we're float number 12 or something like that. And each float in a parade probably consists of about 30 floats. And so, so these people that you're throwing beads to have an accumulation of beads, stuffed animals, other things that guys or people are throwing from the floats that previously passed by. And you have this alligator mouth that's open. So now you have people trying to throw stuff into the alligator's mouth from the crowd. And my cousin told me, he's like, look, and he's ridden in a bunch of these parades. He's like, look, man, he goes, I brought you this. And it was a face shield. And that probably saved me. I couldn't tell you how many times during the parade route, because because I'm sitting at the mouth of the alligator and people are throwing stuff trying to hit the mouth. But yeah, I mean, not everybody's, an NFL quarterback or a major league pitcher or anything like that, so their aim's going to be off by about, let's say 10 yards.
That'd be me.
Around that.
Maybe.
And you're just sitting there and you're getting pelted. And then, so it's a blast because they have, what people can't see from the ground level is they have, a makeshift ice chest up there. And, it's got anything and everything you could possibly want, to imbibe in. And we had the best time. And there is no shortage of fun to be had because the music's going, you're dancing. And the funny part about it and it's in New Orleans, and most Mardi Gras parades is that you have to understand is, so they want your identity to be kept a secret. So it's mandatory that you wear a mask or something that covers a majority of your face during the parade.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So you see people, but you, like, the people that that know you're riding in the parade, and they know what float you're on. You have to text them or physically tell them where you're going to be and on what float. So, I tell you, so these things, these beads, right? They probably cost a half a penny to make, somewhere around there, but they are treated like gold whenever you throw them. People fight over these things.
Really?
So oh my God, it's hilarious. But the funny thing about it, so I saw Amy and the kids. They were all, and I knew where they were going to be, and so I had set aside like a big old bag of just stuff, like an alligator stuffed animal, and then beads and doubloons and all that kind of stuff. And so I go down. They came up, and I handed it down to her. And then I handed down one other thing, and there was somebody that came up behind him and snagged it and ran away. I'm like,
snap. Come on,
man. I'm like, come on, so, but it was, but it's all fun. It's everybody has a great time. And this tonight winds up, and I want to say Bacchus is the final parade. And then, so you do your parade route. And then once you get done with the parade route, then there is a huge ball that, and so you have various bands playing, because like the Bacchus ball took place in the convention center down in New Orleans, and it is humongous. And
sounds amazing.
Oh yeah. You got to experience it once. And like,
I was just about to say, if nothing else, forget Lions off season talk. I'm ready to experience all of this.
but I'll say this, so, obviously policing it can be a pain in the neck for the law enforcement. And so,
I would think.
Yeah, they come out in droves, and let's just say they're a little lax in what they police. So basically, the only thing you can get arrested for is fighting, and then, doing your business in the street. And that is it, because they have, they obviously have foot patrols, then they have horse patrols, and then the street cleanup from one day to the next they have it down to a science. They basically steam clean sidewalk, streets, everything. And I forgot how many pounds of just rubbish they pick up every night. But everybody's having a great time. Everybody's having a great time. So it's a fun time. You have to experience it. You have to, at least once, go down, have a good time.
I'm ready. Sign me. I'm ready to make some
plans
for
I know.
next year.
That was the best pitch for this that I've ever heard. I'm ready.
I'll give you another one. So if you're not riding on a float, then the next best thing is to get up on a second floor balcony and have a bunch of throws that you can throw down to people. And obviously one of the better second floors to get on is down in Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
And just in that area, in that French Quarter area. So, and excuse me for expounding on this, but one of the big things is, you have, so it's all male, female up on the balcony, and then another thing. And then, let's just say you have a female down on the ground, and she's yelling up to a guy. She's like, "Hey, throw me something, mister." And he's, so the crowd around just starts yelling. They just start chanting, show your, oh, it is freaking hilarious. And then, but how they get around it, and it is fantastic, is how they get around it is they have a bunch of females. What they do is they go online and they buy these shirts, and they're flesh-colored shirts that are 3D painted to make it look like
shut up.
Yeah. And so what they do is that they'll raise their primary shirt up, and then the guy sees it for a quick second,
and he's like,
and then he throws the beads down, and then as he's throwing, he realizes it's a t-shirt that's made to look like
my god,
the top part of female anatomy. So it's freaking hilarious.
What a time. What an opening segment on the live Locked On Lions squad show.
That was incredible.
When we say you don't come for the camaraderie, you never know exactly what you're gonna get. And this one I think is this is definitely a memorable one. We're gonna remember the opening segment on Fat Tuesday and the education that Bradford Banta provided for young Natalie Kerwin and I. So I think this is a great segue into our second segment.
I don't know how you segue into another segment, to be honest.
We're on the fly. We're on the fly. When we come back, we're going to do a little combination of the upcoming combine and our deep dive in our free agent wish list. So from Fat Tuesday, Bradford explaining all the ins and outs of a crazy parade in Mardi Gras and everything else, to Lions offseason talk. It doesn't get much better than that on the live Locked On Lions squad show.
Hey, it's Matt Derry from the Locked On Lions podcast. The people I love depend on me. If I'm gone, the financial responsibilities don't disappear. I didn't want my family figuring things out during the hardest moment of their lives. That's why I knew only one place to go. I chose life insurance through my friends at Ethos. Ethos makes getting life insurance fast and easy, 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. There's no medical exam. You just answer a few simple health questions. You can get up to $3 million in coverage. Some policies are as low as $30 a month. I love the folks at Ethos. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos now by going to ethos.com/LockedOnNFL. In as little as 10 minutes, you can get the free quote and up to $3 million in coverage at ethos.com/LockedOnNFL. That is ethos.com/LockedOnNFL. Ethos.com/LockedOnNFL. Application times and rates may vary.
We're firing our producer after that transition because I pressed the button and it didn't go, and then I pressed it again and it didn't go. But hey, I shout out to our guy Matt Derry on Locked On Lions. Great reminder to subscribe to Locked On Lions, and also who better to segue out of what we were talking about, Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, and into Lions offseason talk than Matt Derry. So that's a huge shout out there. But I think we just got to go right in, because if we do any more stumbling around, we'll end up down that path the path of no return, like that opening.
But I like when we go down that path.
I know.
To be honest.
both you guys
I don't know if the audience does, but I do.
Both you guys do, and I gotta hear from Sam. I think you guys could have been a little bit more to the point on that first segment. Oh, you don't say. But here we are, off-season roadmap. We've got the combine coming right up, and before we get into our deep dive, Bradford, I want to kick it to you. Combine. It feels like this event has evolved and evolved and evolved into the underwear Olympics. People go crazy for it. They want to see how fast you run in a straight line, which is so funny because how many plays in a game of football do you actually run 40 yards in a straight line? Probably none. But point being, the combine has turned into, an event, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a destination and everything else, where it feels like guys, their draft stocks depend so heavily on that workout.
It does. You talk about running 40 yards in a straight line. Okay, here's a historical question for you. How and who invented the 40-yard dash?
Ooh, great question. Somebody that was really fast and couldn't change directions.
Right. That's a good guess.
So it was invented by Paul Brown. So one of the original, coaches in the NFL. He developed that. He basically said that 40 yards was, a good distance to judge a player's speed. And that's how it kind of originated and just kind of took off from there. And since he was one of the original founding fathers of the NFL, then everybody just kept with that tradition, and it still stays alive today after, golly, I couldn't even tell you how many years they've been running it. So but the combine itself, which starts next week, I believe.
Yeah.
So it starts next week. It's evolved over the years. Whenever I first went as a player, as a prospect, a draft eligible player, it's always been held in Indianapolis. Historically, there have since been some contract negotiations about possibly relocating, which, much to the dismay of, I would say, a bunch of NFL insiders, because Indianapolis itself it's ideal for hosting an event such as the Combine, just because of the locality of the stadium, the ease of getting to and from the stadium from your hotel. You can essentially do everything inside as far as walking. So, if they happen to get a cold spell there, then you can go there without a jacket and get admittance into Lucas Oil Stadium. And then they have a convention center attached to it where they do some of the other events, talking about height, weight, bench press, and then attached to that is called the train station, which is a hotel where all 32 teams are located, where they do informal and formal interviews. And the informal interviews is just basically a big ballroom where they set out umpteen number of tables, and they have, each team has runners, and whatever group is in the ballroom that night, the runners go find that particular player that they're looking for, and they're timed interviews for the informal interviews. And then you either have position coaches or scouts that are there talking with the players, just trying to pull as much information as they can from said player. And then the formal interviews take place in a more intimate setting, i.e. the rooms in the train station. And what those are intended to do, that's where, let's say, the head coach, the coordinator, the GM, the president, the position coach are interviewing specific players that are scheduled to be interviewed at a specific time. And this is where you can have your chalk talk and put them, up on the board, and you tell them certain things, and you see how much football knowledge they actually have. And it's an interesting process, and it's a good way to vet the players whenever you get them in that intimate setting, and then also in the informal setting. And in the meantime, all this takes place at night, but during the daytime, that's whenever the height, weight, and then the drills that you see on the NFL Network take place. And, here's funny story. Whenever I attended, being from Southern Louisiana, going to school out at Southern California, I fly up there, fly into Indianapolis, and it's snowing, it's icy, it's this, that, and the other. Well, at that time, that's whenever they had the RCA Dome, which was directly across the street from the train station where all the players stay. And so I'm sitting there, and tennis shoes on, you had to walk across the street to get to the RCA Dome at the time. I'm sitting there and I'm slip sliding all over the place just because it's icy and this, that, and the other. And I was like, oh my God, this is miserable. Because it was the first time I had ever really been in ice and snow and on a consistent basis. And so go through the whole process and then, get done with it. And then finally, I get on a plane, and I remember taking off from Indianapolis, and I was like, thank God I don't have to come back to this place again. Lo and behold. I'd spent my first 6 years of my career there and had the best time in Indianapolis. So it was funny. Made a ton of good friends there while I was playing, and still keep in touch with the majority of them today. So, but it's really for the players. I'd say it's about a 3-day process that they go through, because you go to the hospital, they take x-rays, and then they take your vitals, and just this, that, and the other. It's one thing after another. Everything is scheduled down to the minute, and you sit back and you go and you perform, and you put your best foot forward. And what players have done in recent history, I would say within the last 20 years, the agents have done an excellent job of prepping these players for the interviews. And so you listen to a lot of stock answers. So whenever I got into coaching, I was just like, let me just ask some questions that are off the cuff that they won't be prepared for.
Right.
And so one of the questions I would ask, and I posed this question to you two. All right. And I set it up this way. And I go, what is the worst thing you've done that you never got caught for and nobody knows about it? Now, before you answer, I already know the answer to this question. So you better be honest with me.
Oh my gosh.
Because we've already investigated you to and fro. You're up and down. I know everything about you. So you would be surprised.
Oh, I bet you got some crazy answers.
Were some guys like, yeah, I robbed a store. I am like, I mean, like, what are some of these answers? I'm so curious. My heart would instantly pound. Like,
exactly.
What do you know? What do you know about me?
So yeah. So I mean, you get guys that open up, and it's an interesting time, but and they know, because NFL has and along with the teams, they have a good security system that vets these players, because you're looking to bring these guys into, for lack of a better term, into a fraternity of people, and the NFL wants to protect the shield, and they do a good job of vetting, going through the vetting process. So you find out some interesting things.
So is that first round of like the informal interviews more questions about like culture and leadership and all of that? Is that how you'd base that? And then like the more one-on-one intimate setting is more of the X's and O's and football talk. Like, this is also interesting to me, because we don't get, like, Jake, I'm sure you agree with me, like, we don't get this perspective on like how regimented the combine is and like every single thing that's a part of it. And I guess for me as a journalist, like I'm curious about like the interview portion of it, because and what you just said about like telling guys, I already know about your whole past, so you better come clean. Like, how does that actually go? Like, question wise.
First off, Jake, can you put up John Smith, because I saw you laughing at it.
Oh my God.
Okay, for our audio only audience, John Smith said his great comment says Jake's still thinking on his answer, and he's exactly right. That's why I was laughing so hard, because I was running through. I was like, man, I've done a lot of stuff, and some of it's on the record, some of it's not on the record, man.
See, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jake.
I was just saying high school Jake, college Jake, grad school Jake,
Ooh.
post grad school, never a dull moment. So, Nat, and these, I always tell my fiance Sid, Nat too. These are all pre Sid. Post Sid, she straightened me out. So none of these have been
As
recent, but John Smith is exactly right. I was thinking long and hard about that answer, but I digress. Go on.
Yeah. So Nat, getting back to your question, not every player is going to go into a formal interview with teams. Not every player at the combine is going to do that, because the formal interviews are, I want to say, back whenever I was there, it was like 15, 20 minutes. The informal interviews are probably, let's say, 5 to 7 minutes. And there's actually somebody there with an air horn, like blowing it in the train station. So you get some of those questions asked in the informal interviews as well, knowing that your team is not going to be interviewing, knowing that your team is not going to be formally interviewing that player. So you need to get those questions asked. And then also, if they are going to be formally interviewed, then you can also ask those questions and then double up in the formal interview and ask that question again, and then compare answers. Because let's say I ask that question, I may not be in the formal interview, so I have another coach ask that question, and just to compare answers, and we'll get together and talk then. So it's all about building culture, and getting the right players in the building.
Wow, that is fascinating. This is as they often are in the off season. You never know when we hit go live. You never know what the episode's going to entail. And I promise we're just teasing the audience at this point. I promise we're going to get to our deep dive of the position group. Let's do that next, right here on a live lockdown.
Maybe we'll get there.
I got another one. I got another one.
Yes.
Oh, today's episode is brought to you by our good friends over at Indeed. Oh, yeah, that's right. It is that time of the year. The workplace chaos, deadlines are stacking up, inboxes are overflowing, and the one position you have to fill still sitting open. When the pressure's on, you need the right hire. This is a job for sponsored jobs. Indeed, sponsored jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for. Skills, experience, location. You're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. You can be sure of it. And here's a stat that says it all. In the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed. 27 hires, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed sponsored jobs. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results when you need the right person to cut through the chaos. This is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. And listeners of this show will get $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on the Locked On Lions Squad Show. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. Welcome back to the live Locked On Lions squad show. And all of our viewers now see that I am in the basement in beautiful Alma, Michigan at my brother's house. Not a lot of studio space in the mid-Michigan, middle of the Mitten area. So we're making it work here, but I kind of forgot that I am in fact in the basement down here, but we're making it work.
Well, I was
I
about
didn't
to
know you were
ask
in
you.
Michigan.
See, I said the same thing. I said the
Yes.
exact same thing. I said the exact same thing.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right. I flew in for a little freelance broadcast gig. Nat, I was telling Bradford, if you were on time to our pre-production, pre-show meetings,
I'll take it. Yeah.
it's big week for me. The WTA Women's Tennis Association Circuit 125 stop at the Dow Tennis Classic this week, and I am your tournament host and MC. So I'm
What?
switching into the tennis mode this week. Yeah, it's a blast. Midland, obviously my hometown, and good relationships with some of the tournament directors, and they fly me in, and I get to see family, nieces, nephew, most importantly, and then I go announce the tennis tournament. So,
But no squad show. You don't get to see us, I guess. We're chopped liver.
See,
unbelievable,
Nat. It's all about vetting who you find out where you put yourself on the total, or where we are on the totem pole. So right now,
I mean, this just speaks volumes, Jake.
Well, no, Nat, just realize that you and I are staring up at mushrooms right now. So as far as our order on the totem pole. So, and I was going to ask Jake during the commercial read, was there something you weren't telling us, because we weren't sure where you were, and I thought I noticed a crib over your right shoulder.
Well, the little nephew's not in the crib anymore, and I think that's why it was exiled to the storage / guest bedroom down here.
Okay,
so
I'm glad you clarified that it was the nephew, and
yes.
I thought we
There's
had
no
breaking
children.
news. I thought we had breaking news on the Locked On Lions squad show.
Oh God.
No breaking news. No,
Okay.
Breaking news. You guys will be the first to know. But no,
yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'll hold you to that.
I take full responsibility. This was a quick trip. It's a work trip. We're nonstop work, and I got the tennis focus in for a big Dow Tennis Classic. But come on up to Midland, guys, and then we'll have a good time. You'll pass.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Crickets.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
They were talking about a big snowstorm coming in, so I don't know. Travel's going to be limited.
No, I brought the warm weather. It's been beautiful.
You did. That's
since
amazing.
I got here.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jake, for your service.
All right. New series that
Yes.
Yeah.
This show has been off the rails the minute we got on here.
I know.
I love it. You guys, these off-season shows need to have a little something.
Spice. Little spice.
See, if I was listening to us, I'd be laughing the entire time.
Yeah.
This is great.
Let's hope
this is my kind of content.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Sometimes you go to talk and you just lose your voice. I'm getting over the head cold though. So hopefully, I mean, Bradford, as we do the, go through inventory, how is your wife doing with her? I think we had like the same thing.
Yeah, no, she's doing great now.
Look at that.
It's over. She kicked it after a week. So
yeah, that's about how long it's been for me as well. But here we are, deep dive, Lions free agent. I can't even say it with a straight face. I mean, we're 38 minutes in our leading top. We're getting to our leading topic now. Well done here, guys. But we're going to take a position group as free agency as we lead up to it. And was it March 11th?
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you. So what better place to start with than the offensive line, because there's big names out there, and that's a position group that could use a little bolstering and a little tune-up, because we know that's the identity of this Detroit Lions team, this organization, and everything else. And that, I will start with you. what it would mean for the Lions offensive line to get back to that dominating fashion we saw the 2 previous years before this past season.
Well, it's their biggest need right now, and you got to protect Jared Goff. So I mean, it would be huge. It was a huge part of this season, and I mean, there were a few different reasons on why the Lions regressed, but not having a strong enough O-line was one of them. And there's so many question marks surrounding the line, at least this offseason, starting with Taylor Decker. When's he going to make a decision? Graham Glasgow, there's some question marks around him. The Lions need to have more depth there with starter capability from those guys as well. And I think if you get back to where you are, I mean, they say it starts in the trenches. So if you can get the Lions back to having that really strong front five, you can protect Jared and let him do his thing. Everything else flows. It all starts right there at the line, right? So, I mean, listen, we saw the success the Lions had the last few years. Let's try and get back there. And I think that's exactly what they're going to be targeting free agency and also in the draft. I mean, I think that's who they'll go after, some sort of, some lineman at pick 17 is my guess. So I think it'd be, they got to get back there.
Yeah. So no, there's no other way. And, just talking about specific positions, and one of the names that keeps coming up is Tyler Linderbaum, the center for the Baltimore Ravens. He's going to be a potential free agent. Granted, there is a ton of time for contracts to get worked out, and this is an ever evolving list because as you get closer to signing day, you have franchise tag, you have re-signings, there's a lot of stuff that can go on, possibly even trades with a signing. It's just so much stuff that can go on. And you have to do a daily or almost hourly check the closer you get to March 11th to find out who is available. And with Linderbaum, that would be a dream scenario if we could bring him on board, if the Detroit Lions could do that. He is, in my opinion, possibly a very good fit for the New York Giants. That's where I would place him if he doesn't re-sign with the Ravens. Why is that? Because that's where John Harbaugh, who just got done coaching him for the first 4 to 5 years of his career, is the head coach now. And he seems like he's comfortable with Linderbaum, and I could foresee him landing there. But the center position is something that has to be solidified because it was a big loss whenever they lost Ragnow for the not lost him, but he retired. And then they showed him the money, and then he pulled a grade 3 hamstring, getting up off the couch and running to the plane. And he just happened to pull a hamstring during that process, and he wasn't able to play coming out of retirement. But then you also have to look at, you have to look at Manu and then also Ratledge in that interior 3. And with the possibility of Decker retiring, and then what do you do with Sewell? Do you keep him at right, or do you move him back over to left tackle, which he's very comfortable playing? There's a lot of moving parts to that puzzle or that Rubik's Cube. There's a lot of turns that you have to make until you come up all solids on every single side. So it's going to be interesting to see what takes place over the next, what's today, the 17th, over the next 20 some odd days of what's going to happen. And this will not be, obviously, it won't be the last time that we talk about the offensive line. It's guys, there's a ton of time. The first thing that the Lions have to do is they have to get underneath the cap. So with the cap being at basically $305 million, somewhere around there, they have to restructure some contracts and hopefully they don't kick the can too far down the road. But they can also make something happen.
Another free agent name that I saw circulating was Kevin Zeitler, guys, who was on the Lions.
Yeah, bring an old friend back. I like that.
So talk about locker room continuity, veteran guy. I mean, I like it. I think that would be, I don't know. I thought it was a shame that we let him go anyway. So I feel like bringing him back would be, he knows this team, he knows these, the guys, and I feel like that would just be something to look at. So that was interesting when I saw that as well.
Yeah, it's like I think, Bradford, you said it like a puzzle, how the pieces of the puzzle will come together, because there's also a couple of pieces where that, just monitoring the timeline of when you, for lack of a better term, give up on some projects like Giovanni Manu and guys that you drafted and brought up through your system, to when you haven't seen enough from those guys to be able to put reasonable stock into what they can provide? Or do you, on the other side of the coin, say, one last chance for them to prove that they can be impactful players on that offensive line? So a lot of moving parts, a lot of pieces to the puzzle.
I'm gonna throw a name out there, and it's not, I wouldn't say relatively unknown, but if he happens to make the move from his present team to the Detroit Lions, a center by the name of Cade Mays. He's a center for the Arizona Cardinals. And obviously Drew Petzing has very good knowledge of this player. And if he's limited athletically, but he knows Petzing's system. And if the center already knows Petzing's system, then you're already one step ahead of the game.
Right.
So it's just throwing that name out there. I'll be curious to see.
Yeah, I like it. Less of a learning curve, less of a runway to get up to speed, that sort of thing. I think that there's great value in that. All right, let's wrap it up with our final thoughts and little Alex Anzalone future discussions. I think we had a couple developing additions to what's all going on there. So that's next right here on a live Locked On Lions Squad show. But first, excited to tell you all about FanDuel. Ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals live and in person? FanDuel is giving you the chance to turn that dream into a reality with their NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA future, and you'll automatically be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. That's right. Flights, tickets, the whole experience. If you're already looking at the board and thinking about which team can make a deep run, well, obviously it's the Detroit Pistons. Okay, I added that, but this is the perfect time to lock it in. I love futures this time of year, whether it's picking a team to win the championship or grab a conference title. Again, hint, Detroit Pistons. It adds that extra layer of excitement to every game down the stretch. And now, not only can your pick cash, but it could also send you to the finals. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Use your profit boost on NBA Future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Final segment on the Locked On Lions Squad Show. Jake Riepma, Natalie Kerwin, Bradford Banta. Thanks for hanging with us live on our normal Tuesday at noon. Way to go, guys. And I think all indications are a normal Thursday noon show as well this week. I'm getting the head nods.
Wow,
right?
I know.
You are. Yes. Well, it's all-star break, so there's no so
right.
Everything's okay. Everything's good. No private planes or anything like that this week, guys.
You're getting out ahead of it. I love it. All right, wrapping it up with the Alex Anzalone discussion. I think I'll start with the social media stuff with the actual team account, and Nat, I'll kick it to you first. I think it's whenever I see stuff like this, it's just a great reminder of I think it was it Herm Edwards or Tony Dungy's famous rant of just don't hit send. Don't send out. This was a long time ago when he was talking to the rookies and just say, don't tweet. I mean, it never plays out the way you want it to. And for Anzalone and maybe I should have explained the situation a little bit more, Nat, if you could provide more context in it. But basically he was responding to tweets from the Lions Twitter account and going back and forth.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to pull it up too, just so I could get my facts straight here. But basically, the Lions social media account posted a compilation of clips of pass breakups from the year and did not include Alex Anzalone in a single part of the video, which is interesting. I don't know, you don't know what goes into the editing, what goes into those decisions. But, he commented and said, I had a career high this year and not one made it in PBUs, and other free agents were on the vid too, ... So he's a little salty about this.
Yeah.
Which I can see. It's interesting that not one made it.
Yeah.
Right? But he's very active on social media. We have seen him post about many different things over the year. He's probably the most active Lion on social media as far as just posting his opinions and different things. And it's just interesting because there already was a little bit of, I won't say drama, I don't know if that's the right word, but just, okay, he might
tension.
Go to the Jets to re-link with Aaron Glenn. And then now this pops up and it's like, is there a love-hate relationship now going on with him? Maybe a little bit. This doesn't help.
Yeah. I always love Bradford's comments on and takes on these things because I'm guessing in your playing days, Twitter drama was not really a thing that you encountered very often.
When was Twitter invented?
I was going to say, what's the good point.
Yeah, I mean, the internet was around, so does that count for anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Let's see.
But when was Twitter invented?
I'm looking.
I remember when I first joined Twitter, I just wanted to follow all my favorite professional athletes.
2006.
So I was already retired. I retired in 2004. So that's so yeah, it wasn't a thing. I was trying to think of what social media avenue was out there at that time. Do we know?
Facebook, I feel like, was probably pretty big.
Facebook Marketplace. Yes.
Yeah, what was big in 06?
04.
Or 04.
MySpace?
Yes.
That's somewhere around there. So, yeah.
Wasn't allowed to have one.
Yeah.
Tough
if I have to ask, then I did not have it. So I'm just leaving it to my my younger savants on the in the social media world. And I appreciate you keeping me updated. Look, I would say Alex has a point. It's strictly the facts. He had a career high for the season in PBUs, and they don't put one of them out there or on the highlight clip. I mean, come on. He was part of the 2025 team last I checked. So, and then they're putting other possible free agents, clips on there. Is it an oversight? Who approved it?
Right.
You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. What's happening in the Lions, their point of view, their aspect of it. But both sides have a point. Is it a shot across the bow to Alex? Who knows? We'll never find out, but he was just pointing out the obvious, and, so be it. And if he ends up re-signing with the team, then no hard feelings.
Yeah.
It's business. It's business. He's bringing up the obvious, and they're putting a clip out there, and he's bringing up the obvious.
Yeah, I do. As I started to read through, like you said, Bradford, the facts and that, like the first tweet, like wait a second. My brain automatically went to the production from Anzalone was there this year. You're talking about career highs, and it's only one statistical category, but it was a good reminder that Anzalone played pretty well this year. And with it being the final year of the contract, we always hear the term contract year and everything else, but that lasting impression he leaves is that he's still a damn good linebacker in this league. And there's value to him as a leader as well within that defense. So I walked away thinking like, okay, beef back and forth with the Twitter account, weird energy from the Lions admin that, put the video together. Maybe it was an oversight, but I remember I thought the lasting thought I had was, I still want Alex Anzalone on this team. And when we last talked about that, I didn't have as strong of a, as strong as a conviction on Alex Anzalone has to be back in a Lions uniform next year. Not that this Twitter drama, that was the deciding factor. See, now we got to have Alex Anzalone back with the Lions, but I do hope he's re-signed.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, it's just back and forth. It's just words, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
it's look, Alex is the reason the Lions were able to play so much base this year, because he was able to cover essentially the number 3 receiver or the tight end or the running back coming out of the backfield. And he did an excellent job, as far as PBUs, pass defended. He was able to cause disruption, and he played well. So they would welcome him back with open arms if they were able to come to an agreement with a contract.
And he did post afterwards, after fans were like, what the heck, why are you commenting this? He said, some of you guys take my Twitter a little too seriously. Still love y'all, though. So he did try and, bury the hatchet a little bit.
Put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Yeah.
All is well that ends well, right?
So,
yeah.
I mean, I think he'd want to be here, too. You'd think. But I don't know. I get his point. But I'm glad he kind of went on there and just said, "You guys, it's all good. Still love you."
Yeah, just like Amon-Ra St. Brown said, Lions fans don't know ball.
That one hurt a little bit.
I love it. But all right, another show in the books of an off-season Locked On Lions squad show. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in, and we will be back with you on Thursday on the #1 sports podcast platform, the Locked On Podcast Network. Another deep dive on the position group. We won't take 38 minutes to get into it next time. Well, actually, maybe we will. No promises. Yeah, that's what you come to love about the Locked On Lions squad show. Make sure you check out the Daily Show with Matt Derry, and we will be back on Thursday for Bradford Banta, Natalie Kerwin. My name is Jake Riepma. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. We'll talk to you next time on Locked On Lions Squad Show.
Au revoir.